Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thank you for joining us this evening. We have a tremendous show lined up for you with some pretty outstanding guests joining us from our Skype broadcast. First up, we have Laura Schwartz, Democratic strategist, Dr. Siriakis, professor at UCF, Internet mogul Rolando Zamora, Kathleen Evangelista, Director of Supply Chain Management at Dell, CNBC correspondent Shabana Khan, and last, Representative Whitney Lamond. First question. I want to thank, that is thoroughly enough clapping. Please, thank you. That is enough. The first question I want to open to the panel is, can IT change the basis of competition? And please go into a little bit of depth about how they can do that.
Absolutely. Swift and Dell computers were able to revolutionize their industries by cutting out the middleman and going directly to consumers. By doing this, competition completely changed, and competitors either had to adapt or face the threat of going out of business.
Interesting point of view, Mrs. Schwartz. I want to know, can IT change the balance of power in buyer-seller relationships, and how so?
For having me on the show. To answer your question, as Robert Albion said, the communications revolution represented a new era of speed in moving information, goods, and people across space. Today we see this with buyers being able to compare product prices for a greater number of sellers on Bing.com or read other buyers' experiences on Yelp.com, thereby making more informed purchasing decisions. Historically, we've seen this with Swift and Company and Dell Computers, where both firms benefited as buyers and sellers. Information technology allowed them to vertically integrate and access raw materials and end users directly. So again, information technology has altered the supply of knowledge in the economy for the better, for both suppliers and buyers.
Thank you, and I can only hope to God that you weren't actually driving. But I do agree with you on certain points. Next question. Can IT build barriers to entry, and how so?
Yes, certainly. IT can build barriers of entry. For example, GF Swift and Company was innovative in the cattle processing industry by using refrigerated railroad cars that delivered fresh meat rather than bruised and damaged cattle. To maintain its competitive advantage, Swift sought control over the beef trade primarily through ownership of assets and creation of new businesses in a process of vertical integration.
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know what direction that is.
Dell Computer Company was innovative in the early years of the personal computer industry when it created a direct model whereby Dell would sell directly to consumers and customize the computer to fit exactly with the individual customer's needs and budget. When its competitors initially tried to adjust their strategy to be more in line with Dell's direct model, their success was generally moderate at best.
Now, it seems like maybe today it may be a little bit more difficult to build barriers to entry, but what about IT raising switching costs and being able to do that in this day and age? Does anybody want to answer the question?
We've been talking about it. I'll take Dell and Swift for examples. Switching barriers, let's say if they were a smaller company trying to operate on a Dell and a Swift scale, they're not going to be able to compete. I mean, for example, with Swift, he has taken everybody out of this distribution channel, cut all the middlemen out. So all those people, if they try to do the same thing that Swift does, they're going to have to do a lot more in-house processing. I mean, Swift created the refrigerated car. That's a little bit hard to beat. If he's going to patent it, it's going to be almost impossible to create something like that and have it be on such a wide scale. I mean, also for Swift, he has a network effect where he has loyal customers, loyal butchers that he sends his products to. And for other people trying to be, I guess you could say, a meat packing a warehouse or a distribution center, they're going to have to find people to distribute to. If Swift's getting everybody, then they can't. With Dell, they have customer loyalty issues too. A lot of people don't like to buy different brands than a Dell computer because it's easy and it's fast. It takes about 7 hours to create one. So definitely, information technology plays a big part in barriers of entry.
Can IT build existing products or add value to existing products? And can they create new ones by implementing new and exclusive IT practices?
Information technology can add value to existing products and even create new ones. Dell used information technology to bring to life their direct sales system, which has added value by building exactly what the customer wants, minimizing inventory costs, and reducing costs associated with forecasting demand. Swift also used technology to add value and reduce costs in his meatpacking business. He spearheaded the creation and use of refrigerated train cars, which reduced inventory waste and improved profit. Swift also used technology to create new products by using animal byproducts for the manufacture of soap, glue, fertilizer, and even medical products.
Now, quickly in closing, can IT impact a company's core business strategy, and how so? Wrap this up quickly. We only have a few minutes left. Thank you.
Of course, IT impacts a company's core business strategy. Information technology affects every part of a business. Two examples are Swift & Company, which was brought out by JPSA in 2007 to become the world's largest food processor, and the Dell Computer Corporation. Both companies were able to establish a competitive advantage based solely on the IT available to them. In the case of Swift & Company, prior to 1850, the beef industry was controlled by local markets, which created issues with different prices and commodities from one market to the next. With the dawn of the railroad and the telegraph, Swift was able to link orders from the retail butchers, the customers, to the producers.
Now transitioning from Swift, what about Dell?
Dell, in slight comparison, has chosen to use vertical integration. Dell's use of the sensor response to make products in response to customer orders has eliminated all middlemen and blurred the lines between traditional boundaries and roles in the value chain even further. Vertical integration allows Dell to be efficient and responsive to change at the same time, a key aspect for any technology-based company. Dell focuses on coordinating activities that will create the most value for the customers. Today, the focus has changed from how much inventory is moving to how fast it's moving. For example, you can look on the back of any computer chip to see when it was built.
That is it for The Factor this evening. Thank you to our great guests, and we have another terrific show lined up for you tomorrow, where we will be discussing the striking similarities between Tom Cruise and Muammar Gaddafi. And remember, right is right, left is wrong. Good night.